guys, it's Simon. This is Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 15th of December, 2021 to talk about everything that went down tonight on AEW Dynamite. But not just AEW Dynamite. It was AEW Dynamite Winter is Coming. And to be honest, the show was good, the first match. Then everything else seemed rushed. The show itself didn't feel that special to me. Like, you call it Winter is Coming, and it just didn't feel extra special. It just felt like another episode of Dynamite, especially that second hour, with a long opening match. That was it, with a long opening match, you know. And so, there's not much really to say other than I thought the show was good, but it wasn't like very good. Fantastic world title match, but other things just felt rushed. It really did, especially towards the latter half of the show when like they couldn't even do the announcements for Rampage and next week's Dynamite like they normally do. They had to throw them at the bottom of the screen because they needed to get stuff done, you know. So they rushed a little bit. That first match went an hour. And I'm going to talk about that going an hour because I'm kind of not a fan of that since they just did it less than 3 months ago with one of the same guys. But before we get into all that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PWU Unlimited. Remember, if you are watching on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out, you can help us out by hitting that donate button down below or donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can subscribe either with a tiered subscription or with Amazon Prime. If you go, I can't pay for that tiered subscription, don't got the extra money, I paid Jeff Bezos for Amazon though. Well, take that Amazon Prime account, whether that's for shipping or for video. Take that Twitch account, link them, ka-ching, and there you go. You now have a Prime Gaming account. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things. It gives you stuff for games like Grand Theft Auto Online. It gives you stuff for, I want to say, Genshin Impact. It gives you stuff for Destiny 2, Rainbow Six Siege. But it also gives you free games. And one of those free games that you can get right now is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. You can get Football Manager 21. You can get Frostpunk for free. But the one thing you know you will always be able to get that never changes is one free subscription right here on Twitch to any channel you want to support to. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you support us right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. But on the flip side, if you're watching over on YouTube, you can help us out over there in the live chat with a super chat or a super sticker donation. Also, remember, you can hit that join button down below and become a channel member. As a channel member, you get early access to news, early access to podcast episodes, early access to non-news videos, and so much more. There's other ways you can support us as well. Patreon.com/PWU Unlimited or with Epic Games and the Epic Games Store. If you're buying anything through the Epic Games Store or Epic Games, well, use creator code PWU Unlimited. Whether you're buying the battle pass to get into chapter 3 of Fortnite, you're buying skins for Rocket League, or getting that fun new game on the Epic Games Store, I don't know, Riders Republic, Guardians of the Galaxy, the new Jurassic Park Revolution, Grand Theft Auto 5, and so much more, it'll say, you got an Epic creator code? Well, you do. It's right here. It's code PW Unlimited. Put it in there. We get a kickback. We get some compensation for that. And it doesn't cost you anything extra to help us out over here. I mean, heck, go over there, Epic Game Store, Final Fantasy VII Remake, integrate. Put code PW Unlimited. You'll be helping us out. But with that, we've got AEW Dynamite. Winter is coming to talk about. Caliber, Tony Schiavone, and Taz were on commentary still. No Jim Ross. He should be back, I want to say, in 2 weeks. I want to say he said he was going to be back by the 29th. Maybe the 22nd, but I know for sure they're expecting him on the 29th. We also saw the Dapper Yapper, Justin Roberts, return. I don't know where he's been, why he's been missing. They've had Dasha the last couple of weeks doing the ring announcing, but cool to see Justin Roberts back, especially for this big match that did open up the show. AEW World Title match. It was Hangman Page against Bryan Danielson, and people were like, why is this match going on first? What the hell? And it was exactly what I thought. This match is going long. They don't want anything else on the show to accidentally go long and then have to cut from this. So they put this match first, knowing that it's going to a 60-minute time limit draw. And I'm like, oh boy. When they went to that 60-minute time limit draw, I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? You just did this with Danielson back on September 22nd against Kenny Omega. If you don't want the guy to lose, then don't put him in these kinds of matches. If you don't want a winner because for some reason you want to extend the feud, okay. But I don't know. It just feels like a cop-out to me. If you do the time limit draw once a year, okay, cool. Kind of like in the past when they'd be like, oh, we'll do like a DQ a year. Cool. But when you do it less than 3 months after you just did one, now it just seems like a cop-out. Now it just seems like, oh, we got to get away from this. We can't have a winner. Danielson can't lose, but of course, Hangman can't lose the title here. So what do? You have a time limit draw. And I saw people going, man, this time limit draw not only gets a good 60-minute match, but both guys look good. WWE should learn from this. And I go, WWE should learn from this? How? They don't do time limits on their matches. So how can they learn from this? But it's just, in my opinion, they've already done this once, and it wasn't that long ago. Nobody has forgotten that match. So why do it again? I understand why you do it again, but why do it again so soon? And what's going to happen? They're going to get a rematch. Danielson's going to go, I technically didn't lose to you, and you didn't beat me. I want another shot at the belt. Battle of the Belts in January? And then what? Danielson loses there? Then why couldn't he have lost here? I don't know. It's just meh. Great match, though. I will say, fantastic match. There was the second half of the match where it seemed like the referee, was very concerned about Hangman and his bleeding right across the hairline. And it seems like Hangman always gets busted open in the same spot. Hairline, right up here, right side. Right up here, right side hairline. But they had a strong lockup early up with Danielson battling Paige into a not so clean break. The next exchange was won by Danielson, who used his leverage to back arch Paige over his head. And early on, they did play up the thing of, man, look how much size the champ's got on the challenger. Paige came back with a shoulder tackle, but Danielson picked the champion's leg, and they regrouped once more. There was some technical wrestling and some exchanges here until Paige scouted a Danielson pick and booted him in the chest. Paige gained full control here, and for the first time, he caught Danielson for leapfrog and turned it into a slam. Danielson countered by death locking the leg of Paige and turning it, I guess you could say, into like a knee bar. He then locked on a Romero special and turned it into a Dragon Sleeper version before letting it go. Paige ran through Danielson's chop and came back and hit him with one of his own. In the corner, Paige laid in 10 punches. Danielson used a single leg takedown to wrench on the champion's leg. He then locked on a side figure four and laid in a ground and pound. Danielson sent Paige to the apron where the champion wanted the buckshot, but Danielson cut him off with the forearm, sending him to the floor below. Paige then countered a dive and hit a springboard forearm followed by a pescado. Crowd? 2/3, I want to say, in favor of Hangman here. There was still some light Danielson chants. Let's go, Brian. Let's go, Brian, you know. But I think, for the most part, the crowd was really backing the champ. Back in the ring, Paige went for a diving lariat, but was cut off with a midsection kick. Danielson catapulted Paige's ribs onto the bottom rope. He tied the champion in the ropes and laid in some chops across the chest. He landed a diving knee drop for a 2 ahead of a commercial break. I'm going to have to sneeze there. Back from that commercial break, Paige turned the tables into a back suplex. Oh, what just happened? Oh, we're fine. For some reason, the Twitch stream bugged out on me for a second. We're fine, though. That distracted me. Anyways, where was I? Back suplex. Buy him some time. The champ, that is. Danielson used his corner escalera with some evasive maneuvers, but Paige caught him and hit a fallaway slam. Paige crossed Danielson over the top rope and hit a springboard lariat and sent the challenger to the floor. Now, back to the fallaway slam for a second. I like Paige doing the fallaway slam because not many guys do that move anymore. So it seems, for the most part, special to him because not many guys do the fallaway slam that much. I think, like, in the last year, I've maybe seen him and 2 other people, and I can't even name who they were. I can just remember, like, fallaway slams by a few other people. I think, who was it? It may have been Lash Legend last week on 205 Live, who did a fallaway slam where she just stood there and threw the person. Because, like a fallaway slam, you throw them, but you fall back with it most of the time. Well, she did it where she just stood there and just, boom, threw him right over her head. So it's like that, Paige, and, like, I think one other person I may have recognized or seen doing a fallaway slam. But it's just, he does it more than anybody, so it seems special to him. Anyways, going forward, Paige went for a standing lariat, and Daniel reversed it into a cradle. Got a 2 off of it. The champ kicked out and immediately hit a Death Valley driver for a 2. They battled on the top rope, where Danielson snuck out of the superplex and punched Paige's leg. Paige punched Danielson away and went for a moonsault, but Danielson rolled out of the way and used the La Magistral cradle for a good near fall. Paige countered a knee lift into the near fall, and then, like, puts him in the label lock. They do a couple more things. They go to commercial. So keep in mind, I'm watching on the TNT app, the Watch TNT app. And so they go to this commercial, and there's a little timer in the corner that says the commercials are going to be 4 minutes in length, and 2 minutes are left, and then minutes left, and I'm counting it down 10 seconds. And then all of a sudden, it comes back from commercial, and I'm seeing what I just saw 5 minutes ago. I don't know what happened, but it's 5 minutes ago. They're fighting on the top rope again, and I go, wait, what just happened? I try to refresh the app, and it's still in the same spot. So I go, whoa, okay. Later on, I was able to refresh the app and get live again. But it's just very weird that the app did that it went to commercial, and when it came back, it was 5 or so minutes prior. I don't know what happened there. But I don't think I missed anything in this match. But once I caught back up to where I was, I think Paige went for an Orihara moonsault, but Danielson popped up and shoved him off the top rope onto the apron. He sent Paige onto the ring post and repeatedly drove his shoulder into Paige. And I think this is what busted him open. I think. Not 100% sure. But during the next commercial break, you can see the ringside physician and stuff checking on Paige, wiping him off and stuff. So going forward, upon the return from the break, Danielson hit a sliding dropkick and a diving knee to Paige on the floor. He beat down Paige in the corner as the champion continued to bleed. Danielson targeted Paige's arm, but Paige countered with a Busaksku knee. Danielson fought out of a slam attempt and hit a German suplex bridge for a 2, and then went for the cattle mutilation, forcing Paige to roll over to reach the ropes. A little later in this match, after another commercial break, Danielson hit an enziguri before they traded strikes in the middle of the ring. He countered a pop-up powerbomb into a Hurricane Rana cradle for a 2 before transitioning into a cross armbreaker attempt. Paige rolled into a triangle hold, but was able to power up into a powerbomb. But Danielson kept the hold before Paige rolled to the ropes. Danielson laid in more strikes before Paige surprised Danielson with a tombstone pile driver for a near fall. Paige at one point climbed back to the top rope, but Danielson moved out of the way, and Paige went crashing through the timekeeper's area as he went in for a dive to the outside. We got a good back and forth here. Danielson rolled back the padding on the floor and exposed the concrete, hitting Paige with the DDT. Paige then hit a German suplex. Danielson went for his kicks, but they didn't have much of the intended effect. Paige went for some lariats, but the same. Didn't have much of an effect on the challenger. They fought on the top rope yet again, where Paige flipped out of an avalanche back suplex and hit a huge rolling lariat. Paige at one point returned a kick from Danielson after trying to go for the red eye. Or the dead eye, I mean. He kicked Danielson's head with about 2 minutes left in the match. He went for the buckshot lariat, but Danielson turned it into a label lock. The challenger peppered Paige with some cross faces as the 1 minute countdown was given by Justin Roberts. Paige catapulted Danielson into the ropes and came back with a huge lariat. Buckshot lariat would follow, but then it was called a time limit draw. The champion retains. And that's our match. Again, all right, so what I said about it being a time limit draw, he just did this like a month and a half, less than 3 months ago, like 2.5 months ago. You don't need to do this again. I get it. You don't want the champion to lose the belt, but at the same time, you don't want Danielson losing, and you don't want to do a DQ, so you do the time limit draw. And I mean, why? Because you don't want someone to lose? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Also, D. Luis's Lash Legend literally got exposed during her 205 live match. Ray showed Lash Legend, but I'm sure it will get cut in the editing room. Oh, I didn't see that at all on the television. So they must have cut it. Going forward, the Super Click, along with Bobby Fish, at a backstage segment, Cole talked about leaving the best friends laying multiple times. Nick suggested 8-man tag on Rampage. Matt suggested a super kick Sue in the face. Cole said, wait, next week it's a Christmas edition of Dynamite. I got an extra special gift for you young bucks. What could the gift be? I don't know. Kyle O'Reilly? Maybe Kyle O'Reilly. They're teasing Cole and Fisher a thing. Kyle O'Reilly? Maybe. Next up, we had Wardlow versus Matt Sydal. It was quick. Sydal quickly attacked with some kicks and used his elusive speed to evade the power of Wardlow. He laid in some high kicks, but Wardlow caught him with a spinning wheel kick. He turned that into a power bomb. Wardlow then laid in more power bombs, but Spears grabbed a mic and told Wardlow, just pin him. Accountability buddy. Accountability buddy. To pin him. Wardlow then hit one more power bomb and picked up the victory. Like a 2-minute match. D. Louise says, new episode coming up. It hasn't aired. Oh, so a second Lash Legend match, you're saying? Because I know we got one Lash Legend match already. So we're getting a second one already? Interesting. Gotcha. I didn't put two together when you said her opponent for this second match. Because I know we saw the last match last week. So I guess there's a second match. Okay, cool. So after the match, Spears attacked Sydal with a chair. Got a call from MJF and relayed the message that Wardlow will have to go pick up some champagne later tonight for MJF's victory. Video package then aired using the rivalry between Ty Conti and Penelope Ford. Actually, this Friday, Ty Conti will face Penelope Ford in a submission match. I'm like, submission match? What? Okay, sure. Why not? Also, we can just do the rundown now. Also announced for this week's Rampage, an 8-man tag team match. It will be the Young Bucks, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish against Best Friends and Rocky Romero. And I go, cool. Then they announced a 10-man tag. And I don't have it off the top of my head who's in this 10-man tag, but I'm like, an 8-man tag and a 10-man tag? Really? What is this, the undercard of a New Japan show? You just got to get everybody on the show? Many people on and you can? I feel like with that only being a 1-hour show, you have an 8-man and a 10-man and the submission match, someone's going to get shafted and not be able to really do much in those tag matches. Because I doubt that submission match goes short. Like it's a submission match. What are you going to go 2-3 minutes? It's got to go 5-6 minutes. Then what are you going to do with the other 2 matches? 10 each? It's 15 with commercials. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it happening. We got a new Malachi Black video, and this one was very interesting. We got Malachi Black, and he's talking about how human nature is violent, and we should accept that fact. He would also go on to make an interesting comment, which I didn't write down, but I do have it in message form. He stated, "Why is everything running slow?" There we go. There we go. For some reason, my stuff started running slow for a second. Uh-oh. Why doesn't anything want to work? Okay, here he is. He said, "So much more than a king." Much more than a king. Well, who was Malachi Black's friend that's a king? Brodie King. And according to Cassidy Haynes of Bodyslam.net, Brodie King has signed with AEW. Let's read that report right here. We have it right here. I just had it up. Why did I close it? So we'll get through the Malachi Black thing real fast. So Malachi Black says that the house always wins, the House of Black, that is. And he looked like he was like a dark preacher baptizing a guy with the black mist. Well, a lot of people are like, oh, did they just tease Brodie King? Did they just tease Brodie King? And well, apparently, according to Cassidy Haynes of Bodyslam.net, Brodie King has signed with AEW. Cassidy Haynes writes the following. With the recent news that Ring of Honor was releasing all signed talent from their contracts, one of the names that many were expecting to quickly find a new home apparently has. That's Brodie King. Says they spoke with multiple sources that have confirmed that Brodie King has signed with All Elite Wrestling. When asked about King's signing, one source told him that he was told on Thanksgiving weekend, done deal. And that apparently it is believed that this happened immediately after AEW announced that everyone was getting released. After the news came out from AEW releasing everybody, Brodie King went and signed with AEW. Like, quick. This is a very, very, very quick thing. So, I think it would be great. Brodie King with Malachi Black. Malachi Black and Andrade was always kind of weird to me. I guess they had the connection because Malachi Black's real life wife was the manager of Andrade in another company, but they're never going to really say that. They said once, they're linked by the same woman. But Malachi Black, Brodie King are the PWG Tag Team Champions. These two go back a long ways. So I'm very interested to see what they do with Brodie King, how he comes in, when he comes in. Tony Khan did state recently, I think it was as recent as this morning, we may have multiple new people coming in over the next couple of weeks. Multiple big surprises and debuts over the next couple of weeks. So, Brodie King, when you coming? Where you going? Where you at? So I'm interested to see what happens with Brodie King. And I assume, like I already said, he's going to be with Malachi. Him and his tag team partner, Malachi Black. Yes, Dan the Man, I did mean ROH releasing everybody, not AEW. Going forward, we had Hikaru Shida versus Serena Deeb. I thought the match was okay, but in the 3 matches they've now had, this was probably the weakest one, unfortunately. So Deeb attacked before the bell even rang, so Shida tossed her kendo stick at her. The official briefly separated the 2 women and then finally started the match. They immediately start brawling. Shida isolated Deeb in the corner and hit a drop kick. She had a springboard crossbody, but Deeb rolled through into a knee bar. This forced Shida to fight to the ropes. Shida then went for a corner knee, but Deeb avoided it and locked on a figure 4 around the ring post, continuing to target the knee of Shida. Shida then fired up as we came back from a commercial, laying in repeated right-hand strikes. She hit a step-up enziguri for a 2, followed by a delayed vertical suplex for 2 more. He fought on the top rope, where Deeb regained control by wrenching on Shida's knee. Followed this up with a neck breaker across the steel steps, and then got a 2 off of it. At one point, Deeb locked in a single leg Boston Crab, but Shida wouldn't tap. So Deeb exposed the top turnbuckle in frustration. Shida blocked an attempt to send her into it, and they traded more cradles until Shida kicked Deeb into the turnbuckle. Shida used a jackknife pin and picked up the victory over Serena Deeb. Yes, Serena Deeb did get beat here against Hikaru Shida, which I was shocked by, because Shida did recently state she's going to go back to Japan soon. So I thought maybe you give the win to Deeb so she keeps the momentum going. No. Next up, Varsity Blondes were in the back with Tony Schiavone. Talked about Malachi Black interrupting them last week and spraying the mist in Julia Hart's face. Griff Garrison cut a pretty good promo that kind of was good at the start, kind of died out at the end a little for me, but Griff Garrison basically was like, Black, you don't do that. You came out, you interrupted our celebration, and then you spit your mist in Julia's face. You left her screaming and crying on the floor, and you don't even care. So maybe I need to come after you. And Pillman was like, whoa. He's like, what? She's our sister, man. You don't want to stand up for her? And Pillman's like, do what you got to do. Walks off, and Griff Garrison just goes, next week, Malachi Black, I'm going to break your jaw. And that match was announced for next week. We then got a quick, 90-second or so recap of Hook's debut. Daddy Taz all happy on commentary. Eddie Kingston then addressed Daniel Garcia in 2.0. He said that he was tired of them and challenged them to a 5-on-5 tag team match. He said it's going to be myself, Santana Ortiz, my best friend, Penta, and his brother Phoenix against you three and whoever other friends you want to bring. And I can't remember who they announced as them other friends. I don't have it written down here at all. But there's going to be a tag, 10-man tag on the show this Friday, which I believe is being filmed right now as we speak. MJF comes out for his main event match, the Diamond Ring match. Fucking Diamond Ring. Diamond Ring means nothing. Nothing. And they can't even give a one explanation why we should care. But MJF comes out and he insults the fans in Texas, calls them dumb rednecks and incests and all this other kinds of things. And he says he tries to shut down CM Punk chants. He said he deserves a title shot when he beats Dante tonight. Which, hey, if winning the Diamond Ring gives you a title shot, kudos. That means it means something. But it still doesn't. He then also says CM Punk going on an undefeated streak against no-name guys, basically. What does that make you, the new Ryback or something? And I go, oof, a Ryback reference in 2021? What? Anyways, MJF took on Dante Martin for the Dynamite Diamond Ring, and this isn't a joke. This is like legit. At points in this match, they seemed like they were on slow motion. And this ain't a joke like they were moving slow. No, they legit felt like they were moving in slow motion. Like Dante Martin would do like a flip, and he do the delay off the flips and then come down with them and stuff. It was very weird. It was very weird. Also, my phone is ringing. I can't answer that right now. So MJF hit a side headlock takeover because he said I can win with a side headlock takeover. Dante outmaneuvered MJF with his athleticism and hit a wild rolling 450 knee for a 2. He wanted to go for a springboard, but MJF rolled to the floor and avoided a dive. MJF tried to catch Dante upon re-entry, but Dante had it scouted. After commercial break, Dante turned a powerbomb attempt into a victory roll for a 2. Dante did a backflip to avoid a tackle from MJF, and then hit an absurd-looking weird dive to the floor onto MJF. He followed this up by even more attempts, like a tope con Grillo, and even a Fosbury flop. and then hit a ridiculous springboard shooting star on MJF onto the floor. Then, back in the ring. Like, he just keeps jumping out of the ring, and then finally he's in the ring. Dante rains down strikes in the corner before rolling up MJF multiple times for a 2. MJF surprised Dante out of nowhere with a side headlock takeover for a near fall. They traded more cradles until Dante hit a side headlock takeover of his own. And during this match, they keep going, by the end of this broadcast, we will be announcing a gigantic match by Tony Khan. Tony Khan has a gigantic match to be announced by the end of this broadcast. And I go, I wonder what that gigantic match could be. It can't be anything to do with the Owen, because we were told the Owen Cup was going to be announced tonight. Anyways, Dante, double springboard moonsault, but Ricky Starks ran down and broke up the pin. MJF locked on the salt of the earth for the submission victory and picked up the win. I think I also missed one spot where MJF tried to pin Dante with his feet on the ropes. Ref saw it and kicked the feet off the ropes. So after the match, FTR would come out to celebrate with MJF. The lights then go out. And I think AEW does this lights go out thing a little too often. Like, if you got one guy that does it or a tag team that does it, okay, that's cool. But you've got like Malachi Black doing it here and Darby and Sting doing it here. And I think they've used it for Cody a couple times here. It's like, no, it's not special or cool anymore when multiple different people with no affiliation are doing the same thing. But anyways, I digress. Darby and Sting come down. They attack FTR and MJF, but the numbers are in the hands of the Pinnacle. And then we get it. CM Punk. And you hear Taz, I don't want that guy coming out here. Out comes CM Punk, runs down to the ring with the baseball bat in hand. Pinnacle run off, and CM Punk tells MJF, you won't face me one-on-one? Let's do it like this. You 3 against us 3. That's the match we're doing it. Tony Khan has just made it official. It will be the Pinnacles, MJF and FTR, taking on the team of Sting, Darby Allin, and CM Punk next week. And I go, okay, but where's that gigantic... Whoa. This is the gigantic match? No. In storyline, this match was just made because they go, Tony Khan has just made this match official. You don't just make a match official if this is the match you've been teasing for the last 45 minutes that you're going to announce. No. You don't say, I've got a huge, gigantic match to announce by the end of the show. And then do an angle at the end of the show and then say, oh, well, with the chaos that just ensued, Tony Khan has made this match official. No. It makes no sense if we're trying to think this shit's real. In storyline, that makes no sense. No sense at all, Papa. Not at all. So I was a little disappointed with that because it's like, they said they were going to announce a big, gigantic match. And then they announced the 6-man, which can't be the big, gigantic match because to me, it's not even that big and gigantic. It's really not. It's going to be an okay match. Sting's going to be limited, do a couple cool spots, and then be back out of the match. Yeah, Vingy, they had the graphic ready. Again, it's like pro wrestling. It's all scripted. But if we're supposed to think it's real, then how is this match just now made? How did Tony Khan just make this match? And I get it. I could have made that graphic in 2 minutes, but I don't even think they had 2 minutes to make it. So, regardless, that's nitpicking stuff. But where's that big, gigantic match? Because to me, this match isn't big or gigantic. I mean, it might be big-ish. And also, Tony Khan did say, at Winter is Coming, we were supposed to get news on the Owen Cup. We didn't. No news on the Owen Cup at all. But with that, guys, that was AEW Dynamite. Winter is Coming. You know what I thought of the show? Now, I'm to hear what you guys thought of the show. Also, if I'm seeing Rampage spoilers in the chat, you're going to get timed out at least. Okay, so apparently the 10-man tag, Garcia and 2.0 are also going to have the Acclaimed with them. Gotcha. But as far as the polls do go, we have the Twitch poll where 80% of you liked the show and 20% thought it was just all right. As far as the Twitter poll does go, 57.5% liked the show, 30% thought it was just all right, and 12.5% did not like the show. As far as the YouTube poll, 58% liked it, 38% thought it was just all right, and 5% did not like tonight's AEW Dynamite. D. Louis says, don't spoil the match. I'm not spoiling any match. I just said who, because I didn't realize who they announced with 2.0 and Garcia. And they did show all 10 men in the graphic. And so people in the YouTube or the Twitch chat were letting me know, hey, it's the Acclaimed. So I'm not spoiling anything. I'm just saying it's the Acclaimed, and that was already announced. I just couldn't remember myself. But as far as the text messages to go, we got a few here. This person says, what match are you excited for next week? I think it's going to be Hangman versus Danielson 2, a Battle of the Belts. Well, that's not next week. And really, there's nothing that's exciting me so far. I kind of want to see what Adam Cole's big gift for the Bucks are. Hopefully, it's Kyle O'Reilly. That's a good question. It says, are members of American Top Team like a Paige Van Zandt signed to AEW, or do they just show up whenever they're needed? Show up whenever they're needed. It was just a storyline to get to the match with Jericho in the Inner Circle. That was it. They were never signed officially to the company. It says, do you see Wardlow turning on MJF? I mean, everyone saw that from the beginning. Eventually, yes, he will turn on MJF. And this person says, I think Dynamite Winter is coming. Did fine tonight. Keep doing an amazing job on PWU. Wrestling Unlimited, Tim. What you do on Christmas Day? On Christmas Day, I go to my parents' house with my kids. My brother and his wife come, and we exchange gifts. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited. YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. And Twitter.com/PWU Unlimited. Fun's not done. Because right after I'm done here, I'm going to get the kids ready. I'm going to shuffle them all over to my friend's house. Then we're going to go drive through some Christmas lights. The world famous Christmas Tree Lane. And I'll be streaming that live. Twitch.tv/Timmy Buddy. We're going to go check out some Christmas lights, and I'm going to stream the whole thing. I'm going to stream it on my Twitch, twitch.tv/Timmy Buddy. So go over there, follow me over there. That way you know once I go live, because I don't know exactly how long it's going to be till I actually go live. Could be in the next 30 minutes, could be in the next 45, not 100% sure, but it should be a fun time nonetheless. So with that, guys, have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you next time.